What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great, even though times, thumbs down. If you could hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button so you get my videos, lives, anything I do. It really helps. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that would be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all my videos. So what's up, what's up, what's up? Sunday early afternoon. Is it 1 o'clock? Just come by to say what's up to my peoples, make sure everybody's straight. What are you guys dealing with? What's the topic of conversation? Johnny Applesauce. Just wanted to say you're a very inspiring guy. I have a feeling really big things are in the future. Positive vibes for you, man. I appreciate that very much. Johnny Applesauce. I try, and this is the thing. For me, it isn't only about money. Obviously, if I can make some money in the process, that's great. But that's not what it's about. It just helps me stay focused. You know what I mean? Paul, man, finally caught the live. Appreciate the support. Thanks. So what are we going to talk about today? What do you guys want to talk about? Life's been crazy. For me, it's been super busy, getting situated and just kind of catching up. Kind of takes its toll at times, but you got to stay focused. Life isn't always going to be amazing. Life isn't always going to be great. And I think it took me a while to realize that and to understand that. I think for a long time, I just expected everything to just be party, everybody just having a good time. Raptors are back at 500 for sure. Urban Burner, what's up? What are you saying? I'm chilling. Just finished my wake and bake. David Prawn, do you know anyone that's been to Niagara detention? Yeah, I do know people that have been to Niagara detention for sure, but I've never personally been there. So I have a friend in Maplehurst. Maplehurst is on lockdown 24/7. I heard time is being served there during lockdown will count as double time. Sue, I'd have to check into that. I don't know for sure, but I think that most likely if you're on lockdown all the time because of COVID, they're going to probably be giving you 2 for 1. New place is dope. Neighbors are good so far. Do you know the best phone carriers to support collect calls using Canada Relink? I feel terrible. My last call went straight to my voicemail. Instead of thinking I declined it. No, I don't really. I would just say get one of the top lines, Rogers or Bell. Make sure you have a line that's supported by a strong network. What were the bikers like? I don't know. I guess you could say they're like you'd expect them to be like. I find most bikers are actually really cool guys. I think the impression of them is wrong a lot of the time. And sure, stuff goes on. There's gang politics in any organization, but, most of them are pretty cool dudes. And they do their time pretty cool. David Prong, keep up the channel. Great channel, bro. Keep up the great work. Thanks. Appreciate that. JG, man, appreciate that. Yeah, man, everything is good. Trying, DBC Ash. What's up, my brother? How are you? Did I serve time with anyone famous? No, I don't think I have. Not like super famous. I've done time with some Toronto rappers, but I'm not going to mention their names on here. But I have done time with some Toronto rappers for sure. Favorite meal for me in the super jails was always the Sunday breakfast with the scrambled eggs, the breakfast sausage, and the potato cubes. JG, man, appreciate that. Hold on. DBC Ash, man, appreciate that. Thank you very much. I got charged with robbery on the last day of school for stealing $2. I didn't even do it and was expelled from high school. Yeah, that's crazy. Too bad. Paul, if you bring something into prison or jail because you know you're going in, should you tell people right away, your cell partner, who you can trust? That's something you have to weigh out with yourself. That's a decision that you're going to have to make. Is it worth it for you to go in and take that risk? Just understand that if you don't go in with something and you knew you were going in, that could be an even bigger problem. So what I would do, if you're not somebody who's super like, you want to get in there and get into the politics and stuff, I just take something that you can break off and keep something for yourself. And if they come for you, just stand on your 10 toes down. Just try to fight your way out of it, But a lot of guys will just totally avoid the situation by not just bringing anything in at all. And I feel like even if you just bring some tobacco and something and just give it to the guys, that you don't even want the problems, just give it to them. That's a solid thing to do, DBC Ash, I got you. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for everything every day. I appreciate that. We try to keep a positive message. We try to stay positive. And, it's not always easy, right? Life can get hard, and you got to just keep trucking. You just got to get through that. What do most guys think about all day when locked up 23 hours? I don't know. I think it depends on the circumstances. There's situations where you could have a bunkie, and there's situations where you're in segregation. There's situations where you could have your stereo and a TV and all your stuff. And there's situations where you could be lost of all privileges so you don't get anything. So I just think that would vary. So what else is going on this Sunday? How about them Leafs? Even though they're in a weak division, they keep winning and winning. Chad, what you think about Derek Lewis knocking out Blades last night? I totally forgot the fights were on, so I didn't even watch it. But I don't know, man. I don't think any of them have anything to say to the top heavyweights, so it doesn't really matter. Good fight. I'll end up seeing it at some point. But, the Johnny Bones Jones is up there now. Ngannou and Stipe, none of those guys are fighting those guys. I don't see them being on that level. They're like the stepping stone kind of guys, Life can get hard. Yes, it is. With me right now, I'm not going back to relapse or anything bad. I will be okay. Hope and pray. You just got to decide, Ash, what it is that you want, Do you want to throw your life away? Do you want to take those chances and take those risks? A lot of the time, life does get hard. And when you're doing the right thing, it seems like it's always just stacking up against you. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, brother. That's the challenge. If you want the benefits of living that life, then you gotta truck through the difficult stuff, because most of life is difficult. If you're in the building, hit that like button. Just go up to the top. It's an easy thing to do. Support the channel. Helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. Derek Lewis looked terrible up until that uppercut. Yeah, because those big heavyweights, those guys, they're so strong that boom, they just hit people and it's a wrap. But no affiliation with any gangs in my life at all. Not how I roll. I've always been kind of a nomad kind of dude. I just kind of like to do my own thing because it's hard to trust people these days. Chad, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. What's going on with the likes, man? You guys hating on the likes. Whew. You guys are being tough. Matthew, I enjoy your videos. You're the gift of expression. You're a great communicator. Keep doing what you're doing. I know you're making positive difference in people's lives. Well, At the end of the day, that's the point. Hopefully, even if it's just a handful of people that really get something from me sharing my story, then that's great. How do you find a lawyer while you're inside? It's actually easy. There's lawyers everywhere. Guys will constantly be suggesting lawyers to you. You just listen to what you hear about these lawyers. You see if they're winning cases and not. You got to see if you're legal aid or if you have cash to actually pay for a lawyer, because it's different. If you actually have some money, you can get yourself a good lawyer. And it's not hard to find. Treppin, what's up? Shout out to Calgary. Grind to shine. What's up, my brother? How you doing? MS Mechanic, are there any prison habits you still do to this day? I would say that I'm very routine. So what I do, I kind of just do every single day. I like it like that. I'm quite nervous with people. I don't trust very many people. And I think eventually maybe that'll fade away, but I think that's a consequence of prison for sure. You're allowed to wear your own shoes if you're in like the federal system. And sometimes some guys will slip through the cracks in the provincial system if you say your feet got issues. You know what I'm saying? JG, it depends on what you mean by smoke. I definitely have my wake and bake, for sure. Grind to shine recovers. Oh, 10 in BC. Where'd you do it? Was it like Masquee and I know there's Masquee, Mountain, Kent. I don't know the other names of the prisons out there. Steve, what's up? I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously life gets in the way sometimes, and we still out here grinding, just trying to get through. Yeah, for sure. Grind to shine. You gotta always live the dream, man. And, you gotta have the right intentions. You have to have the right energy about yourself, and you have to work really hard. Nothing comes easy, and if it's easy, then it's not worth it. You understand? And if something's really truly worth it, then you're gonna have to work hard for it. And sometimes it will seem like things are monotonous and maybe not worth it, but you just got to truck through it all. Masquee, Mission, William Head. Okay. You should come on for an interview. 4 years in remand. Brian Destroyer. My son was released from Joyceville on parole in November. He's at a halfway house in Barrie now. He finds it worse at the halfway house. Lots of weirdos, and the staff drive him crazy. Yeah, because the halfway house is a system designed for you to fail. And I don't care what anybody says. Having these conditions, like you have to call from a landline and all these dumb things just to make it more difficult for you. There's not much, it's like a no tolerance, right? So even if you've gotten your life together, you got a job, you got an apartment, and you relapse, you're going back, and they'll take all that away from you and start you from scratch again. And I just don't see how that is progression. I see maybe putting somebody into a rehab program, giving them an opportunity. And not every time, the one time you use, will you get violated, but a lot of times. And I feel like really parole is just kind of set up for you to fail. They put halfway houses in dope neighborhoods where there's dope dealing and prostitution going on, a lot of illegal activities. If you look at where they all are, I know I get that certain neighborhoods are going to protest having a halfway house there, but still, it's a setup for sure. I just wanted to say a good vid about coke. Yeah, for sure, Steve. It's important to remember those things, even if it seems like it's a long way away and it's been a long time. Sometimes you still got to remind yourself so you stay on top of it. I used to get real cocky and real ahead of myself with my recovery, and I think that was a big part of why I never made it. How long prox do people stay in the halfway house for a 2-year sentence? They'll probably stay in the halfway house till they're stat. So they're till their 2/3 date. As long as they're doing everything right. Now, if their behavior is not deemed progressive by the system, which believe me doesn't take much, then they might keep you there longer. Just saying, it's been 5 years for me to just smoking. Yeah, for sure, Steve. And anytime, man, that's what it's about. It's about staying on top of things. And I know sometimes, you want to just let it out and let it go. And I know sometimes relapse is a real possibility for people. But for me, I just find that once I separated myself from the negative temptation and from the people that were doing those kind of things, it kind of went away from me. I guess I'm blessed in that way. And I know myself, so I know I can't put myself around any of that. And as long as I do that, I'm good. Warrant if you're a public safety risk, yeah. Halfway was all right for me. Got pushed out early. Yeah, for some people it could be okay for sure. OG Blinks, great video about coke, had me thinking how lucky I am. Appreciate that, brother. Done time with anybody from Alberta or time over here? I definitely have. I can't tell you just off the top of my head, but yes, for sure. I've done time with guys who've done time in Drumheller and stuff like that for sure. Byron Webster, can you do a video on how detrimental the lingo is at CCCI Yellow Fruit Biscuit Whiteford? Detrimental? Okay. I feel like you could get, I guess if you go in there talking crazy, you could get yourself in some trouble if you had no idea, for sure. But I feel like most people would just mess at you. Daniel Baella, what up? What are you saying? Dirty Dan, ever been to Barton? Nah, I never went to Barton. I never spent much time out in the west end of the GTA, Most of my time I just spent up north around York region. You already know, Ash. You already know, my boy. Barton is done, but I hear Barton also is good time because Barton is one of those kind of old school buckets where things kind of move a little old school still. As long as you know yourself and you're in a place like where you know some people, and maybe it might not be the best time if you don't, but from what I hear, if you're comfortable there, you're comfortable. Since I moved, do I feel a difference? Yeah, it's definitely a much bigger place, much more comfortable, a little quieter, and definitely a little bit more my speed for sure at this point in my life. How much time have I done? Total 17 years. Daniel, what was the hangout spot in Richmond Hill? I wouldn't say there ever was one. Gordon T. Heard Barton cooks their own food, no steam trace. Yeah, it's one of those old school buckets like the West or the East where they still cook their own food. Mr. Bumtickler, what's up? What are you saying? Ryan Foster. I sound Canadian because I am Canadian. How old were you when I first got locked up? First time I got locked up was 15. I've done a lot of time, man. I'll be 39 this year. And from 15 to 39, in that time frame, I did 17 years. Just getting caught all kinds. All kinds. Go up to that top, hit that like button. If not, beat it. Yeah, you sound Canadian as fuck, eh? Had no idea, eh? Honestly, though, for the longest time, I had no idea that I even had any kind of an accent. But anytime I talk to somebody who's American, they say I got an accent. To me, it sounds exactly the same as when I hear an American talk. Yeah, fentanyl's thumbs down. Fentanyl is one of the main reasons why I quit. You sound more Canadian when you're not trying. Yeah, I guess. If you're from the GTA, though, there's just a different lingo, different sound here. You know, if you listen to Toronto rap, just listen to Toronto rap. It's a totally different sound in the GTA from anywhere else in the country, for sure. But I know we all have accents if you're not from Canada. Ontario accent, yeah. No, I say good. We just don't enunciate as much, you know? And I don't say ever, I say ever. You want to hear somebody say ever, Brendan Schaub. You know who Brendan Schaub is? He says ever or every. But I guess it sounds different to me than to you. So maybe I do. How much does weed cost in jail? It just depends on where you are, but anywhere between 50 and $100 a gram. Brendan Schaub actually is from the States. But he just says every like every. Every. Did you ever have any beef with dreads? No. This is the thing. I never had any real beef in prison, all my years. Like, sure, I got in some bang outs, I got in some fights, but that's not like real beef. I'm saying I never had real beef because I didn't move in a way that would get me beef. If you go to the federal system and you move like a man, you don't run up debts, you don't talk shit about people, you don't move like a waste man, people are going to give you your space. People are going to respect you. You'd be all right. Obviously, if you're in the provincial system, it can be a little different. But like I said, if you move in and you're confident when you walk on a block, people aren't going to think of you the same as somebody who moves in and they're all scared. Hold on. Why is Gates a savage? I used to drop cigs over the wall for 2 boys in the juvie at Guelph. Yeah, that's hardcore. I appreciate that. Were there a lot of Americans? There are not a ton of Americans in the prisons that I was in, but there was some Americans or guys that at least came from American prison. They do like the inmate exchange program. So basically, like I had one homie that got 8 years in the States, federal time, for trafficking drugs across the border. He's trafficking ecstasy. And once he did like 5-6 years down there, he got involved in that program. They shipped him back here, and he was out on stat like almost right away when he got back here. Shout out from the hospital. My wife is giving. Oh, Mr. Bum Tickler, shout out, congrats. Congrats, he's having a baby. You're at the hospital and you're watching my channel, man. I appreciate that. But shout out to you. Hopefully everything goes smooth, man. Congrats. Leslie Boder. Hey, bro, glad to see that you're doing good. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Watching on the delivery ward, holding it down. That's right, man. Be a good father, man. See, that's one of the reasons why I never had kids. I wanted to always be a good father. I couldn't see myself as not being that. So I try my best not to have kids, and it never happened. So hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Everyone who does prison time, most people do like coffee because, you play cards, drink coffee, pastime, drink coffee. It's one of the only things that you get. Dirty Dan, when was my last bit? I got out May 2018, and then I went to treatment from May to November 2018. I've been out since then. Longest stretch of time I have as an adult on the street. Totally different life. AB, you get the credit on official Bacardi slang. you don't say that. We say you done know. What do I do for work? I work with heavy equipment. Steve, sorry, man. Trying to hit that phone to TV. Haven't figured it out yet. That's all right, brother. I ain't really stressing. I appreciate the likes, but if it's impossible, it is what it is. Dirty Dan. And I wouldn't say that I'm sober, though. I'd say that I'm in recovery. Because I do smoke piff. I do have a beer every now and then. And I am on Suboxone. So I wouldn't say that I'm sober. No. Brothers Grimm. Yeah. What's the best way to provide support and show commitment to a boyfriend in jail? I would say just be patient, understand their circumstances, and understand when they're unloading all of their stress onto you. It's not a personal attack on you. When you're in prison, you can't really complain. You can't vent because people don't really want to hear it. When you're in the federal system, you're doing time with guys that are doing 30 years, 40 years. They don't really want to hear you complain about your little time. So a lot of that stuff gets pent up and then gets dumped on the people you love, you talk to on the phone. So I'd say that just be understanding and just get that it's not personal. It's not towards you. It's just you are their line. You're their one. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Dirty Dan, for the longest time, I couldn't do it either. Ars, what's your experience with COs? Good and bad, I guess. Some COs, they come to work, they do their job. That's it. You don't have run-ins with them. When you're in the federal system, you see the same COs for years and years and years. A lot of the time, they won't F with you. But then you got the ones that just go out of their way. They just make it a personal mission to exact revenge for society. And, prison is the punishment. Being locked away from your life is the punishment. It's none of their goddamn business to now further exact their own punishment on you. It's not how it works. Michael G, first time I got caught this thing live. Keep kicking ass and talking all that positivity. Old Rexdale boy here. Appreciate that. Shout out to Rexdale. On their path going, which is great. And your goals about recovery timeline like goals. What are my goals about recovery? I don't know, man. Eventually, obviously, I would like to get off Suboxone and just keep moving forward with my life. I've cut back a lot on smoking weed. I just don't really have the time to smoke as much as I did before. But aside from that, just kind of keeping how I'm doing things now and just keep progressing in my life in terms of financially and with my career and everything like that. So how do other people find out what you're inside for? If you tell them, right? Sorry, Ash, hold on. I saw a question there, but I didn't. Have I ever been on methadone? No, I have not. And I'm on 4 milligrams of Suboxone. I went up a little bit. So I'm on 4 milligrams. Bike life. Keep up the biz, G. Stay positive. I will. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. I'm on here for about another couple minutes, guys. So appreciate you guys coming and having the live. I'll answer another couple questions if you guys got another couple. But Bike Life 416, man, appreciate that. You stay up, stay safe out there. Nah, I don't meditate. I don't. My girl likes to meditate a lot. She's very spiritual, but me personally, I don't really have the mind to meditate. You know, I have like monkey brain. My mind is like, I don't know if I can literally sit there and just empty my brain. Well, I appreciate that, Ash. Green 5, I appreciate that. I try to be a leader, man. That's the best way to be. Can't be a follower, man. You got to make your own choices, and you got to make those choices based on what's best for you. And for the longest time, I made decisions based off what other people felt or how I felt other people like I needed to act. You know, I made decisions like I had weird loyalty to my homies over myself and over my family. And it's like, it got to a point where you got to decide what's more important, your own life, building your own future, creating your own way. You understand? Like you got to make that choice. What do you do? It's not about being spiritual. I know meditating is not always about being spiritual. I'm just saying that my girl personally is spiritual and meditates a lot and is very good at it, but I personally am not really able to focus like that. Yeah, I would like to get into it. I have meditated in my life, but I've never really like focused on it. You know what I mean? Arshia Ali, love the channel. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. JG, you making paper off this? I wouldn't say that I'm making paper. I'd say that there's a little sprinkle of money every once in a while, but it's not what people would think. No, definitely not. And Canada has a much lower RPM than the States, like much, much lower. So if I was in the States, I'd be making not like a ton of money, but decent, I guess. But in Canada, nah, man. You know, I do get a donation here and there, and I appreciate every single one that I get. They help very much. And, you know, I'm trying to build up the stuff. Like I'm trying to get a laptop. That's what I'm saving up for right now. And I feel like once I get a good quality laptop or a good quality desktop, then I can expand my channel a little bit and get a little bit more creative. Okay. I definitely do like to use my brain, though. I like to read things, and I do like to activate my brain. So I just have ADHD a little bit, so it's hard for me to stay focused on one thing for a long time if I'm not super into it. But if I'm super into it, I can laser beam focus. Start doing vlogs. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Shout out to you guys for coming to this live. You already know, man. Channels help save my life. So thank you to each one of you. And I'll be putting up a video in the next few days. Maybe I'll do a live before that. Love each and every one of you. The new Matt Clark. Have a good day.